Hello everyone, my name is PauLInstaMyooin. We're back with another edition of Pokemon Y Shiny Hunting. This will be episode 613. I'm going to be shiny hunting for another Tirtouga. So when I finally find the second shiny Tirtouga, I'll be evolving into Caracosta, and then I'll be basing the name off of Caracosta's shiny color. So shiny Caracosta is like a sapphire blue color, so I decided with a simple name, Sapphire Costa. So that's what I'll be calling it whenever I find it. But anyway, the topic for this episode is by me, is about Kirby's Dreamland. It's pretty much, what was the hardest level that you've gone through, and did you beat it? There's not that many levels in that game, but the ones that you go through, there's always one annoying one that's out of them. If you even care about the game at all, of course. I mean, but for me, that would probably be probably the cloudy stage. The cloudy stage is quite annoying because you're flying up and stuff is falling down, but you can't see until it's you're really close. Because when you go up, the screen loads and everything like that, and that's how you can see him. So yeah, it's sometimes it's really annoying because you're just well, the first times you most likely won't expect it, but the second times you'll learn the pattern of where they're gonna fall and everything. But still, it's one of the annoying things about that. And then the bosses as well for that. I forget what it's called, but the cloud eye things. I don't remember what they're called, but they're pretty tough. If you don't have any power ups, you have to keep waiting. Oh wait, yeah, no, in that game there is no power ups. So you would have to absorb the enemy and then spit it out at the cloud, and then that's how you would damage it. So yeah, that's that whole stage, and then those bosses are really tough. So I would say that's the most difficult one. I did beat it, of course, because I beat the game. So yeah, I did get through that, but it was tough. It was definitely the toughest one. So I'm curious to know, what was the toughest one in your opinion of the levels? If you even care about the game, of course. I'm just curious to know. But anyways, what I did yesterday, I didn't do a huge amount. I did get some gaming done, like playing a lot of games, but not much other than that. I'm trying to think of what else I did, but I think those were the only two things that I really did. Hmm. Yeah, I guess I'll explain the games I got done. So you're gonna see in the last two topics for this stream, for these episodes, it's gonna be a whole new thing from Super Mario World. Cause yeah, I beat it yesterday in under, at the very least 2 hours, but I think it was under 2 hours it took to finish up the rest of the levels. Past the fifth castle where Roy is, like I think one or two. It was past the ghost house. I think the first level after the ghost house, the first level of the chocolate island or something like that. That's where I left off on. And then I was able to beat all the levels um, through all the way to that and Bowser's Castle, the ending. So yeah, I beat that game yesterday, and then I pretty much started on Kirby Superstar. I beat Spring Breeze, Dynablade, all the gourmet races against King Dedede. King Dedede, I think is his name, not King Dedede. Um, yeah, and then I'm really far on the cave offensive, the one where you collect the treasure. That's definitely one of my favorite ones out of that whole game. I just love that one so much. Don't get me wrong, the space one is cool with the mechanics if it's the same mechanics as Superstar Ultra, I mean. And then the Meta Knight one's so cool because it's the story of Meta Knight. But I don't know, the cave one's just so cool, the whole treasure thing. I really love looting dungeons and all that. It's one of my favorite things about games. Just getting the loot and everything, and I just love it. It's just something I really like. So that's probably one of my top favorites in that game. And I'm already almost halfway through it. I left off on the part where it's you go down and then it's a huge castle place, but I went on the door to the left, and then I pretty much went all the way to the cannon, all the way on the left side, when you keep going that way, and I am in the cloud part now, so that's where I left off. Um, I pretty much got every single treasure besides this one treasure, I think I have a feeling how you get it. I remember this was one of the toughest ones to get. It was like when you're going down and then there's like these windy parts. There's like this chest to where you can't get to it unless you have some kind of strong boosting force. I think you need the wheel power up. I really think you do because I don't know any other power up that just like goes for speed. So I might have to go get the wheel power up. Cause I want to, cause every other treasure I've gotten so far, um, yeah, so that one is the only one I haven't gotten so far out of the ones I've been through the areas. Because I make sure to clear out the areas before I, get done with it. So I want to make sure no treasure is not collected. So, yeah, that was my whole plan. That's why I just love that, because the whole treasure thing, there's actually really cool references to certain games. I'm sure, like, every single one of them, except for some of them, like, basic ones, like a coin or a dime or something like that. It's, like, obviously basic currency and treasure, but there are, like, a lot of ones to where it's referencing to other games. Um, I've only been able to get some of the references, like the Z type energy circle thing. I'm pretty sure that's for Metroid. And then there's like so many other ones that are from different games. I'm so sure of it. It's so cool that they like do that reference wise. Because in that game, when you use the stone power up, the when you are like the I don't know if that's what it's called, the rock power up, whatever. When you pretty much the power is like you transform into a rock sculpture, whatever it is. And one of the things is actually that it's actually the logo of I think it's called Halberd or something like that. That's what one of the companies that makes Kirby. It's like with the dog and then the eggs under it or something. I think it's just in a nest. So anyway, yeah, it's like one of the cool things, cool little Easter eggs that you can get as a statue. I'm pretty sure if not in that game, then in Kirby Superstar Ultra for the DS. But Kirby Superstar is the original one that had all those things, all those cool like stories and all that. Um, or maybe not, because I never played. I haven't played the second or third Dreamland yet, so maybe one of those. And then there's Nightmare uh, in Dreamland or something like that. And then there's a bunch of other Kirby games that I haven't played before. But I'm assuming maybe those games in Kirby Superstar is like a compilation of ones that were in uh, that were existed in Kirby, but they were like the older Kirby games. So I don't know. I'm still getting through it, and I might, if I get the time that I had yesterday, then I think I might be able to just beat Kirby Superstar today. I don't know. That would be cool. But I'm just really happy I was able to finish up Super Mario World. I really love that game, but I really want to make sure I keep this whole topic streak going up. Because now I have a whole list for the topics, and then I still got this one that I did in this episode for Kirby's Dream Land, and then one more the next episode for Kirby's Dream Land, the final one that I made, and then a whole list for Super Mario World. So, yeah, I'm doing good. If I can beat these games as fast as I'm doing, then yeah, that'll be awesome. They have more topics, but obviously eventually it's going to run out, and then eventually I'm going to have more just in general, just from like new games or just whatever. So yeah, I'm doing good. I'm happy because if I'm able to keep this up, that'll actually be really awesome. Even when my sister's boyfriend finally just wants his Wii remote back, I have other games. I have like I have my computer with those ROMs, and then I have my Kindle with the ROMs. So I can still stack up on topics, because yeah, I can do that. It's just for now, obviously I'm focusing on the Wii, because you need a Wii remote to actually be able to navigate on the Wii console. So I'm just using that as much as I can until he wants it back, so yeah. Because he is obviously eventually going to want it back, because I'm borrowing it obviously, so yeah. I don't know. I'll keep, grinding the games that don't seem to take that long, and I'll save the ones that are like super long at the end after I beat all the other games that I was able to on my Wii. So yeah, the long ones being like the RPG ones, yeah, mainly just the RPG ones, like Mario Legend of the Seven Stars. I mean, Mario RPG, that's what it's called. Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. Paper Mario. I don't know what other ones. Because Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, they're pretty long games, so I might save that to the end, actually. Because and Super Mario 64 is pretty long as well. Um, I just want to get the short ones out of the way first, because I know I should be able to beat those decently easy. Because I'm really good at these games. The only ones that I've never even beaten before, even got that far in, that I haven't played yet, is Star Fox 64, Super Mario 64. I've beaten Super Mario 64 for the DS before. I've gotten every single star on that. But the original Super Mario 64 is just only Mario. But in Super Mario 64 for the DS, I'm pretty sure you can be Yoshi, Luigi, Wario, and have all these like crazy power-ups like that. I mean, that was in the original Super Mario 64 as well, but it wasn't like, it was only Mario that you could play as, so, and then it was like a lot tougher, I'm pretty sure. And then, what else? Yeah, Ocarina of Time, I only got so far in that game, and then after a while I was just getting lost, so I just didn't know where to go. That might be the same thing when I play it for the second time, but I don't know. Because I don't want to get too far into something to where I'll have to look it up, like one of the new games I'm going to be playing. If I have to, I'll just save that for like on stream and just start whenever I finally able to do a let's play of it. I'll just start a new game, and then if you all can help me, that'll just be great bonding, you know? But if I really have to, then I will look it up on camera. But for now, if it's off screen, it's just like whatever. I'll get as far as I can. Majora's Mask, I know I didn't get that far at all. It was like, I got past, a while ago, like I said, when I played these games for the actual first time, when I bought them, and then like when I finally actually played them. Yeah, I didn't get that far with Majora's Mask either. I got past the whole thing to where you stop the moon from crashing into the town, and then you're able to explore the outside, and then I was able to control like the mask and all that, and turn into like a Deku, whatever Deku creature, and skip across the water. I just kept getting lost and everything. I didn't know where to go or what to do, so I just stopped the game from there. Yeah, and there's a bunch of other ones I'm sure as well. Like the ones that are like multiplayer ones, I'm not gonna do ones like F-Zero X. That's a multiplayer racing game. I know you can beat like the story modes and all that if you wanted to, but just for me, if it's multiplayer, like only fun multiplayer, I'm just gonna stick with it multiplayer. So that's other ones like Mario Kart 64 and Bomberman 93 and Super Smash Bros. Or no, I think it's just called Smash Bros. Um, Mario Party 2, like stuff like that. I'm gonna save for like only multiplayer because I don't really care to beat those games on my own because I only really care to play them multiplayer, you know. So yeah, and there's still just a bunch of other games like I said on that that I still want to be getting through. Only some of them that I actually have beaten before on the actual as was uh, WiiWare. So I also have Cave Story on there, believe it or not, because you're able to get Cave Story on there, and I had it from. I first originally got the game Cave Story when I was playing on my DSi, and I was just searching the shops, and I saw this game on the WiiWare. I was like, Cave Story, what the heck is this? And it looked really cool, so I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. And that ended up being like one of my favorite games. So yeah. And there's a bunch of other like games like that to where I'm gonna play again, but only after I get done with these games that I have already. So I want to be able to really see if I'm able to master my anger. It seems like I'm doing good so far because I beat um, Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World. I mean, Super Mario World, I didn't really get too angry at because I didn't. It was like a year ago when I last played that with my brother. Me and him like beat the game. Um, but I definitely remember Super Mario Bros. 3. I was just like so angry at back in the day. Like, so that's like one definite true test. And then the ultimate test is when I actually beat that Donkey Kong Jungle Climber. 'Cause that's the ultimate all-time game that I was the most pissed off at back in the day. When I actually had it as a physical game. So if I'm able to beat that, then yeah, I'll be set pretty much. My anger is pretty much mastered. But I'm doing good. I'm able to just like not really get angry. I just, have my trick of turning it into being depressed or sad and then just getting over it really easily. Yeah, that's pretty much my trick with that. I mean, it might not work for everyone, but it's working for me. Alright, I'll be ending off episode 613.